यशिका सुनील। अब मैं आप सभी प्रतिभागियों को कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शंस देना चाहूंगी। इस प्रतियोगिता में सभी प्रतिभागियों को 6 मिनट का समय दिया जाएगा, जिसमें आपको अपने आलेख को संक्षेप में प्रस्तुत करना है, यानी उसका जिस्ट आपको पढ़ना है। ठीक है। अब मैं इस प्रतियोगिता के निर्णायक मंडल के सदस्यों का परिचय दूंगी, जो आपकी प्रस्तुति के बाद आपके आलेख पर टिप्पणी भी देंगे। हमारे पहले माननीय जज हैं डॉक्टर DN सिन्हा, जो फॉर्मर सुपरिटेंडिंग आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया के रह चुके हैं। सर, आप जाने माने पुरातत्वविद हैं। सर, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है हमारे आज के इस कार्यक्रम में। हमारे दूसरे माननीय जज हैं डॉक्टर विमल तिवारी। आप एडिशनल डायरेक्टर पटना म्यूजियम पटना के हैं। आप एक जाने माने संग्रहालय विज्ञानी हैं, पुरातत्वविद हैं। सर, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है हमारे आज के इस कार्यक्रम में। हमारे तीसरे माननीय जज हैं डॉक्टर रणवीर सिंह राजपूत। आप एडिशनल डायरेक्टर बिहार म्यूजियम पटना के हैं। आप एक जाने माने संग्रहालय विज्ञानी हैं, पुरातत्वविद हैं। सर, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है हमारे आज के इस कार्यक्रम में। हमारे इस कार्यक्रम में मुख्य अतिथि के रूप में हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं डॉक्टर चितरंजन प्रसाद सिन्हा सर। आप पूर्व निदेशक काशी प्रसाद जायसवाल शोध संस्थान के रह चुके हैं। आप हमारे साथ उपस्थित हैं, इसके लिए हम आपके आभारी हैं सर। आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर आज के हमारे इस कार्यक्रम में। हमारे आज के विशिष्ट अतिथि हैं डॉक्टर उमेश चंद द्विवेदी सर। आप पूर्व निदेशक संग्रहालय बिहार रह चुके हैं। आप हमारे साथ इस कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित हैं, हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं, इसके लिए हम आपके आभारी हैं। आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है सर आज के हमारे इस कार्यक्रम में। अब मैं इस कार्यक्रम का आरंभ करते हुए भारतीय पुरातत्व सर्वेक्षण पटना मंडल के अधीक्षण पुरातत्वविद डॉक्टर गौतमी भट्टाचार्य मैम का स्वागत करते हुए आग्रह करूंगी कि कृपया अपने उद्घाटन वक्तव्य के साथ कार्यक्रम का शुभारंभ करें। डॉक्टर गौतमी भट्टाचार्य मैम।
नमस्कार सुनीता जी। आज के इस कार्यक्रम में मैं आप सभी का स्वागत करना चाहती हूँ। ये हमारा जो कार्यक्रम है ये संस्कृति मंत्रालय की तरफ से एक पूरा साल भर का कैलेंडर ऑफ इवेंट्स है, जो आज़ादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत हर एक महीने हम लोगों ने एक एक दिन चुना है, जिसमें हम लोग कुछ ना कुछ इस तरह का जन जागरण का कार्यक्रम करेंगे। ये ज्यादातर आपका सांस्कृतिक विरासत के ऊपर आधारित रहेगा, पर हम लोग जब आर्कियोलॉजिकल सर्वे ऑफ इंडिया के नाम से या उसके तत्वाधान में कुछ करना चाहते हैं, तो लोगों का रहता है कि ज्यादातर वो हमारे हेरिटेज साइट से ही रिलेटेड होगा। पर हमने सोचा है कि हम इसका थोड़ा सा दायरा बढ़ाएं, थोड़ा स्कोप बढ़ाएं, और हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे जितने भी आगामी 12 महीनों का कैलेंडर ऑफ इवेंट्स होगा वो बिहार से किसी ना किसी तरीके से जुड़ा रहे, चाहे वो आपका बिल्ड हेरिटेज हो या आपके इंटेंजिबल हेरिटेज हो। तो इसी के तहत आज हम नेशनल टूरिज्म डे मना रहे हैं। ये बच्चों को पता होगा कि एक हम लोग का वर्ल्ड टूरिज्म डे भी रहता है, जो हम 27 सितंबर को मनाते हैं। ये यूनाइटेड नेशन टूरिज्म की तरफ से पूरा ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड मनाया जाता है, और ये जो है ये खासकर हमारे इंडिया से ही रिलेटेड है, जो नेशनल टूरिज्म डे है जो 25 जनवरी को मनाया जाता है। तो सुनीता जी का बड़ा सहयोग रहा है इसमें कि हम लोगों ने जब बातचीत की कि हम इसमें क्या कर सकते हैं, तो उनका पहला ही ये था कि हम इसमें ओपन लेटर कंपटीशन कर सकते हैं टूरिज्म के ऊपर बच्चों का। तो मुझे ये आइडिया बहुत अच्छा लगा, क्योंकि हम चाहते हैं कि हमारा जो भी कार्यक्रम हो उसमें ज्यादातर लोगों का सहभागिता रहे, ना कि वो एक टेक्निकल या फिर जो एक्सपर्ट ग्रुप अगर हम कहें उसी में हम लोग बंधे रहे, बल्कि जनसाधारण तक हम उसको पहुंचाने की कोशिश करें। जैसा आप जानते हैं कि कोविड के चलते थोड़ा हम लोग का कार्यक्रम में थोड़ा फेरबदल हुआ है। हम चाहते थे कि ये हम लोग ऑफलाइन मोड में करें, सबकी का ज्यादा भागीदारी लोग रहे, पर चूंकि अभी बिहार राज्य में कोविड प्रोटोकॉल्स हैं, तो हम लोग इसको ऑनलाइन मोड में करने के लिए थोड़ा रिस्ट्रिक्टेड हो गया है। पर आशा करती हूँ कि आगे के जितने भी कार्यक्रम रहेंगे उसमें हम लोग और अच्छे से कर पाएंगे और थोड़ा ज्यादा स्कोप मिलेगा लोगों के पास जाने का। और मैं स्टूडेंट्स का बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ कि आप लोगों ने इतने उत्साह से इसमें पार्टिसिपेट किया। सुनीता जी ने बताया कि अराउंड 95 के करीब एंट्रीज आई थी और जो उनको चयन करने में काफी मुश्किल हुई। तो ऐसी मुश्किलें मुझे लगता है कि हम लोग पसंद करते हैं कि मोर एंड मोर आए। जजेस का बहुत धन्यवाद कि उन्होंने अपना टाइम निकाल के वो एक रिटर्न को भी स्क्रीन किया, फिर वो धीरे धीरे करते करते हम लोग इस छोटे से ग्रुप तक पहुंचे हैं। मैं ज्यादा समय नहीं लूंगी एंड आई विश एवरीवन बेस्ट ऑफ लक फॉर द रेसिटेशन एंड होपफुली हम लोग बहुत अच्छा सुनेंगे आप लोगों से। तो सुनीता जी आप मैं आपसे कहूंगी कि आप इसको आगे बढ़ाएं।
जी धन्यवाद मैम। अब मैं आप लोगों का जब ओपन लेटर आप अपना पढ़ लेंगे उसके बाद रिमार्क के लिए मैं अपने माननीय जजों को आमंत्रित करूंगी। तो सबसे पहले मैं इनवाइट करती हूँ आदित्य राज, बीडी पब्लिक स्कूल। आप अपना ये प्रस्तुत करें।
इस सभा में उपस्थित सभी प्रतिष्ठित जनों को मेरा सुप्रभात। मैं आदित्य राज, बीडी पब्लिक स्कूल का छात्र, अपने नालंदा के भ्रमण की कुछ स्मृतियां आप लोग के साथ साझा करने जा रहा हूं। नालंदा सिर्फ भारत का ही नहीं बल्कि पूरे विश्व के प्राचीनतम विश्वविद्यालयों में से एक था। मैं 2019 में वहां घूमने गया था, जहां हमने प्रवेश शुल्क देकर प्रवेश किया। हमें एक सुंदर रास्ते से खंडहर तक ले जाया गया और वहां मैंने वह चीज देखी जिसे देखकर हर भारतीय को गर्व होगा। वह चीज यह थी कि उस जगह को विश्व विरासत स्थल घोषित किया गया था। फिर हमने एक छोटी से द्वार से खंडहर में प्रवेश किया। हमें एक गलियारे से ले जाया गया। वहां हमें गाइड ने बताया कि उसकी दोनों ओर कक्षाएं चलती थी। जब हम उस गलियारे से बाहर आए तो मैंने उस समय रह चुके विश्वविद्यालय का मानचित्र देखा। उस मानचित्र को देखकर मैंने अंदाजा लगा लिया कि वह कितना बड़ा रहा होगा। वह जगह थी भी बड़ी सुव्यवस्थित। वह कमरों की बनावट कुछ इस प्रकार थी। यह एक कमरा था, इसके चारों तरफ छात्रों के कमरे थे। एक बड़ा कमरा आचार्य के लिए था और बीच में जगह छोड़ दी जाती थी जहां आचार्य बैठकर छात्रों को ज्ञान देते और विद्यार्थी उन ज्ञानों को अर्जित करते। फिर हम लोग उस पुस्तकालय की ओर बढ़े जिसे बख्तियार खिलजी ने जला दिया था। मुझे आज भी क्रोध और घृणा होती है कि कोई इतना कट्टरपंथी कैसे हो सकता है कि एक पुस्तक न मिलने के कारण उसने पूरे विश्वविद्यालय को ही खाक बना दिया। उस विद्यालय को देखकर ही पता चलता है कि वह 6 महीने तक क्यों जली। फिर हमने हुएन सांग का कमरा देखा। उनके कमरे की 2 विशेषताएं उन्होंने अपनी पुस्तक में अंकित की थी। पहली विशेषता, उनके कमरे के बगल में एक छोटा सा कमरा था जिसमें वो बैठकर ध्यान करते और उनके कमरे के बगल में बुद्ध मंदिर था जिसके घंटियों से वो रोज सुबह उठते। कितना मनोहर दृश्य रहा होगा वो। फिर हम लोग प्रयोगशाला की ओर बढ़े जहां भट्टी में धातुओं को पिघलाकर मूर्तियां बनाई जाती थी। वह मूर्तियां आज भी पटना संग्रहालय के गैलरी संख्या 3 में रखी हुई हैं। उन मूर्तियों को देखकर यह बताना बहुत मुश्किल हो पाता है कि वह हस्त निर्मित है। उसमें बहुत ही बारीक कला की हुई है। इससे हमें यह पता चलता है कि नालंदा कला के क्षेत्र में भी उतना ही आगे था। बात करें वहां की बनावट की तो वहां 3 युगी ईंटें अभी भी उस इमारत को पकड़े हुए हैं, जहां सबसे नीचे गुप्तकालीन ईंटें हैं, सबसे ऊपर राजा हर्षवर्धन के काल की ईंटें हैं और सबसे ऊपर पाल वंश की ईंट हैं। यह तो मात्र सारांश है क्योंकि इसकी महत्वता को शब्दों में बांधा नहीं जा सकता। हमारी जो प्राचीन विरासत है, सांस्कृतिक गौरव है, उसे हमारे सरकार और उनसे जुड़े तमाम अधिकारियों ने अभी तक सहेज कर रखा। इसके लिए मैं उनका धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा। मैं उनका साधुवाद करता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद पंकज तुम्हें। नहीं सॉरी आदित्य राज। अब मैं वंदना कुमारी डॉन बॉस्को एकेडमी को आमंत्रित करती हूँ कि वो अपना आलेख प्रस्तुत करें। वंदना कुमारी।
Good morning, respected judges and my worthy friends. I'm Vandana Kumari of Don Bosco Academy, and I'm here to represent a gist of my open letter on the topic My Visit to Rajgir. In the summer vacations previous year, my family planned a trip to the first capital of Magadha, Rajgir. It is an ancient city located in the Nalanda district of Magadha region, indicating to the rich history of Bihar. It was originally known as Rajagriha, meaning the city of kings. We traveled by car, but we were not bored by the long journey because we were discussing about the places we were going to visit. I got to know that Rajgir is surrounded by 5 hills, together known as Rajgir Hills. The river Panchani flows over here. This place holds a special importance for both Buddhists and Jains because Gautama Buddha as well as Mahavira had visited this place and had given spiritual guidance to the people of this place. Bimbisara and his son Ajatashatru, who were once its rulers, had also patronized both Jainism and Buddhism. The first thing we saw in our journey was the Cyclopean Wall. It was 2500 years old and surrounded the entire city in order to protect it from invaders. Our next visit was to the Brahmakund and Lakshmi Narayan temple. We saw that the kund was red in color, but the temples surrounding the kund were yellow. I got to know that hot water in this kund is poured from 7 different springs, which is said to have healing properties. Then we moved for Vishwashanti Stupa, which is not very far from the Brahmakund. To reach the stupa, we had to take a thrilling ropeway ride. Before seeing the stupa, we went to see the Japanese Buddhist temple, which is near the stupa. There we sat down silently to see the statue of Buddha and listen to the prayer of a monk. A positive and peaceful surrounding was maintained over there. From there, we went to see the stupa. It was a dome-like structure built on a high platform, white in color, with 4 golden statues of Buddha facing all the 4 directions. We also saw a big bell and a beautiful scenery after descending the stairs in front of the stupa. The last place on our list to visit was the ancient Nalanda University, but unfortunately it was closed. Some of the suggestions and grievances which I would like to represent for the development of tourism in Rajgir are spreading awareness about this place through advertisements on the internet as well as on television will help to increase its tourism. People bath using soap in the Brahmakund, contaminating its water with froth. So rules and regulations should be made and followed to protect our cultural heritage. Public buses should be put on duty. Hotels with good facilities and reasonable prices should be available. Tourist guides should be appointed to tell the significance and history of a place to the tourists. Dustbins should be installed for proper garbage disposal because people littering here and there threaten the beauty of these places. This tour will be etched in my mind forever. I request you all to visit Rajgir yourself to experience its wonders and the beauty of Bihar. Thank you.
बहुत अच्छा वंदना, तुमने बहुत कम समय में अपनी बात रखी। माय विजिट टू राजगीर। अब मैं स्वाति ने नॉटरडम एडमिन को आमंत्रित करती हूँ कि उनका लेख है माय विजिट टू गया, उसको प्रस्तुत करें।
Yes, ma'am. Our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi once quoted, "Bodh Gaya is a land of enlightenment." Years ago, what Bodh Gaya got was Siddharth, but what Bodh Gaya gave to the entire world was Lord Buddha, the epitome of knowledge, peace, and compassion. A very warm good morning to all the esteemed guests and honorable judges. I, Swasti Sneh, of Notre Dame Academy, Patna, studying in Standard 8, feel privileged to present my views and experience regarding my memorable visit to Gaya and Bodh Gaya 3 years ago, which left me in awe of the place. I was so enchanted by its beauty that I felt more people should visit these places. A soil of enlightenment, Gaya, a city in Bihar, is a significant pilgrimage place that is steeped in great history. It is famously associated with Gautam Buddha, a prince who turned down his right to throne to help millions who were sick and homeless. Equally important for Hindus as well as Buddhists, Gaya has some of the best constructions that highlight the architectural brilliance of an era in the past. To begin with, the Vishnupad temple in Gaya, located on the banks of the Falgu river, features a 40-centimeter long footprint of Lord Vishnu known as Dharmasala. The temple was erected during 1787 by Queen Ahilyabai Holkar. The Falgu, a river that flows past Gaya, is a sacred river for the Hindus. Devotees from all across the world pay a visit to this consecrated place to carry out the Pinddan for their relatives on the banks of this river. It is a ritual for the salvation of the departed souls. The Mahabodhi temple serves to be the most important attraction in Bodh Gaya, visited by thousands of pilgrims every year. Built by Ashoka in the 3rd century and restored by the British in the year 1880, the temple got its due acknowledgement in the year 2002 when it was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. It was built surrounding the Bodhi tree that Buddha sat under while he attained enlightenment. The dome of this temple has been inlaid with 289 kilograms of gold. From the wide grounds to the main shrine of the deity painted in gold. From the Bodhi tree to the pond adjoining the temple. From the meditation place in the inner courtyard to the meditation garden flanked by fountains and bells. One can seek divine bliss under one roof at one place. Another must visit is the statue of Lord Buddha, the tallest statue of its kind, instated by the Dalai Lama in 1989. The meditating Buddha, resting on a giant lotus, constructed using intricately carved sandstone and red granite, is a breathtaking sight. A popular site at Bodh Gaya, the Muchalinda Lake, is located next to the Mahabodhi temple. It is associated with a mythological tale stating how Lord Buddha was protected from a storm by the snake king Muchalinda. Bodh Gaya houses many monasteries, the Thai monastery and the Royal Bhutan monastery just being two of the many. Abound in tranquility, these monasteries bring peace to the mind of the beholder. Amidst all this, Gaya still requires many more developments and needs more progress. A comprehensive plan that includes good roads, quality hotels, and effective law and order machinery is required for any significant rise in foreign tourist footfall. Even in the presence of our international airport, Gaya receives only one irregular domestic flight and no regular international flights. The problem of air connectivity is very concerning and a major constraint for the development of this space. Efforts should be taken to keep the city clean. There is a need to create a reservoir on the Falgu River so that devotees can take a dip in the holy water. A project for the same is being implemented by the government of Bihar. The government should develop Gaya and Bodh Gaya as round the year tourist destinations, and the required infrastructure and facilities should be set up. Efforts should be made to draw the youth along with the elderly. as this place is an amalgamation of so many religions. All this will certainly attract tourists, not out of spiritual compulsion, but out of their desire for an unforgettable experience to this abode of peace and serenity. Bihar welcomes you to this land of enlightenment and salvation. Thank you.
थैंक यू स्वाति। अब मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ सत्यम कुमार, बालक मध्य विद्यालय। आपका आलेख का विषय है बिहार म्यूजियम।
Bihar Museum is a museum located in Patna. It was partially opened in August 2015. The Children's Museum, the main interest area, and an Oriental theatre were the only part opened to public in August 2015. Later in October 2017, remaining galleries were opened. More than 100 artifacts were transferred from Patna Museum. It was planned as a history museum for the state of Bihar and began construction in Belly Road, Patna in October 2013 with an estimate 490 crore. 25,000 square meters museum and marketplace concept was developed with G+1 structure and with a very small portion G+4. It is a 6-story building spread over 5.6 hectares having just having 24,000 square meters of built area. Japan में की S Association along with Mumbai Opolis Stars Architects was to develop the architect design of the Bihar Museum. The proposal included 4 crore exhibition gallery, education, lobby, administration, and Bihar Museum, the include 4 gallery, education, lobby, administration, and parliamentary gallery. The government has signed a memo of understanding with Canada-based Conseil Film Lord Cultural Resources in July 2011 to append this concession for the project. In January 2012, the state cabinet approved the selection of Japan-based Meki Association and its Indian pattern Opolis Mumbai as the primary council architects for the project. From 28 India to 7064 are kept in Bihar Museum, and those the post 7064 period are kept Patna Museum. Location: it is located in Patna, the capital city of East India, state of Bihar. Its exact location on the southern flank of Jawaharlal Nehru Marg, Belly Road in Patna. It is spread over an area 13.9 acres. The site of proposed museum was earlier occupied by 7 bungalows between Ellen Misra Institute and Hertel Moore in Belly Road. Later in March 2013, the communist at the bungalow. The Bihar Museum has several galleries. These included the Oriental Gallery, the Children Gallery, and the Regional Gallery, the Contemporary Gallery, the Historical Galleries, the Bihari Diaspora Galleries, and the Visible Storage Gallery. The exhibits on different subjects are displayed separate galleries. Each gallery is a huge, has many artifacts displayed, including dating back to the 4th century. Oriental Gallery. The gallery gives an overview. The museum and the theatre is located and of the gallery, and film interesting the museum and its collection is screened in the audition film shows on Bihar timeline, and Bihar history are also shown. Thank you.
बहुत सुंदर सत्यम।
अब
अब
मैं
मैं
आमंत्रित
आमंत्रित
करती हूँ
करती हूँ
यशिका
यशिका
सुहीन को
सुहीन को
संत
संत
कैरेंस
कैरेंस
स्कूल
स्कूल
सेकेंडरी
सेकेंडरी
स्कूल
स्कूल
माई
माई
ट्रिप टू
ट्रिप टू
राजगीर
राजगीर
कालेज का
कालेज का
विषय है।
विषय है।
संत कैरेंस स्कूल सेकेंडरी स्कूल
Good
माई ट्रिप
morning,
टू
everyone. Ma'am, I am audible.
यस
यस,
बट
बट
तुम्हारा
तुम्हारा
Good morning,
फोटो
फोटो नहीं
everyone.
आ,
नहीं है, वीडियो
वीडियो
नहीं
नहीं
है,
ऑन है,
वीडियो ऑन
वीडियो
करो।
ऑन करो।
यशिका
यशिका
सुहीन
सुहीन।
यस
Miss
यस,
On है.
हाँ यस
हाँ
ये
ये
प्रेजेंटेशन किसने
प्रेजेंटेशन
किया?
किसने किया है?
ठीक
ठीक है,
ओके
ओके।
हाँ
हाँ,
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jessica Shuheen of St. Karen Secondary School. Today, I would like to read my gist of my letter, my trip to Rajgir. From the onset of a random idea of exploring Bihar's culture to the conclusion of making priceless memories with family. That's how my Rajgir trip could be described in a few words. Countless parallels from history and geography, and yet the fascination of Rajgir couldn't be described in words. So is the city of Rajas. The newly added diamond to its star studded history is a huge swinging glass bridge. Nor Ashoka nor Chanakya could have imagined that. In their very own land, their successors will one day transcend human boundaries and construct a mega structure that defies laws of physics so flamboyantly. When we decided to visit the northeastern part of Bihar, we hadn't imagined that it wasn't only the glass bridge that was calling us. Rather, the whole journey was an enthralling experience, bringing us closer to the soul of Bihar. From waking before the early bird to catching the first train from Patna to Rajgir, we were on a mission. After around 2 hours of thrusting and shaking in the train came our station, full of tangas and a chilly wind surrounding us, reminding the onset of winters. We all stood there, tourists on our own motherland. We hired a few tangas to reach our destination. The horse driven chariots made us feel like how Ashoka could have felt when he first crossed these hills on muddy roads inside the green hill belt of the city. When we reached the Rajgir Safari Park, the crowd was overbearing and people had to be turned down for limited tickets were available. Next on was the moment of surprise when army buses took us up the hill and we found ourselves in queue, waiting to be swayed by the wind in midair on glass. The line of people felt too much, and we youngsters were losing our patience. For it, time felt that it had suddenly slowed down. Finally, our turn came and we started on the stairs made of transparent glass. The glass stairs set the pace for the upcoming big event, and what next? We knew was our bodies standing mid-air on top of a deep gorge, clearly visible downwards. The metal wires holding the bridge from both sides gave our frightened soul some confidence, and that was the first that we were seeing a human wonder standing so tall and sturdy. It was overwhelming, frightening, fascinating, exciting, and overpowering, all at the same moment. The glass bridge further rounded into a circular platform, and though the wind wasn't merciful, we still knew we were safe in the vicinity of this architectural giant. There aren't enough words in whole of English language that could successfully describe the adrenaline rush that we experienced on that fateful day. The sunlight fell on the transparent floor and passed right through, as if the light was unhindered by the presence of this monstrous giant. The glass shone at a distance, and it felt like the valley had befriended this witch. And they both were companions who wanted humans to experience and understand the true potential of human power and the beautiful outcomes when used without harming the nature. The sun had started to set in the west, and the glass panels were refracting the light in unimaginable colors. Intense emotions surfaced, and I wanted to stand there and have that euphoria forever. It was over before we comprehended, and we had exceeded our time limit on that bridge. With some frowning faces, we climbed down, and for once I looked behind and saw what I will remarkably be remember till the day I die. The glass giant, open with welcoming arms, making me believe that we humans have the power to achieve great things. We all went back to the station, but our hearts will just stay in Rajgir for a very long time to come. Thank you.
थैंक यू यशिका। अब मैं आमंत्रित कर रही हूँ सुभाषिनी को, नॉर्थरडम हाँ एकेडमी से। तुम्हारा टॉपिक है माई विजिट टू मनेर शरीफ।
A very warm morning to the esteemed judges and the honorable judges. I am Subhashini, studying in class 9 of Notre Dame Academy. And here, through this letter, I would like to take all of my learned audience on an interesting journey down my memory lane. It is indeed rightly said, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Bihar has a magnificent history, and today I would like to take pleasure in introducing yet another magnifique from Bihar, Maner Sharif. Let us take a sneak peek into its rich history. Along with being one of the oldest and most important centers of Sufism in Bihar, it was also the regional center for learning Sanskrit, where the great scholar Panini breathed his last. Maner Sharif houses the mausoleums of Sufi saints Makhdoom Yahya Maneri and Makhdoom Shah Daulat, which are more popularly known as the Badi Dargah and the Choti Dargah respectively, and is open for all people. Built during the reign of Mughal Emperor Jahangir, it is one of the finest of the Mughals in eastern India and remains the center of attraction for tourists. The walls of the mausoleums have been intricately designed and have been inscribed with lines from the Holy Quran. Along with being the favorite spot of many people for get-togethers and picnics, it also includes a pond. Though poorly maintained, remains a spectacle to behold. The immaculately maintained rose garden and fountains in the vicinity is a treat for the eyes. A trip here is enough to fill the camera rolls of anybody, from aesthetic pictures to retro pictures. You name it, and a demand will be satiated. Apart from being an architectural masterpiece, it is also known for its motichur laddu or maner ke laddu, which is said to be made from the sugar-sweet waters of River Son. Maner Sweets in Maner is the oldest and the most famous sweet shop that has attracted a huge variety of people from all over the world and remains the favorite of many Bollywood celebrities too. On the contrary, it is inevitable to not notice and discuss about the declining infrastructure of Maner Sharif. This is as important as the Taj Mahal or any other monument in India and must be taken care of exactly in the same way, for its existence is symbolic of our nearly forgotten history. The maintenance of the monument has to be taken seriously, in my opinion, and is the responsibility of both the citizens and the government. We must know what is ours. Maner Sharif is an architectural masterpiece filled with emotions. It has a lot to offer and a lot to say, only if one has the patience to explore. With all my due regards, Maner Sharif and I together bid you a farewell and hope to see you around soon. Thank you.
थैंक यू सुभाषनी, बहुत सुंदर प्रेजेंटेशन रहा तुम्हारा। अब मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ प्रियांशु कुमारी को, बांकीपुर गर्ल्स स्कूल। आपका विषय है माय विजिट टू संजय गांधी जैविक उद्यान। प्रियांशु कुमारी,
यस मैम।
आप स्टार्ट करें, आरंभ करें अपना।
Good morning, honorable judges. My name is Priyanshu Kumari. I study in class 9th from Bakipur Government Girls High School. My topic is my visit to Sanjay Gandhi Jaivik Udyan. Sanjay Gandhi Jaivik Udyan, also known as Patna Zoo or Gandhi Botanical Zoological Park of Patna, is located in Beli Road, Bihar. The park was to the opened to the public zoo in 1973. Land area of 152 acre. Here 800 species of animals, more than 300 species of trees, and 5 species of snake. The park was first established first established as a botanical garden in 1969 and as a zoo as a public in 1973. Archaeological Park. The land acquired from the Public Works Department and the Revenue Department was declared protected forest by the state government. On 8th March 1983, the zoo is currently home to over 800 animals, ducks, crocodile, hill mana, and the gharial, python, white tiger, lion, peacock, etc. Having started as a botanical garden, the park currently houses more than 300 species of animals, trees, shrubs, and herbs. The park also included as aquarium, which is the largest revenue of belonging to 5 species of snake. The Patna Zoo make considerable effort to conserve and propagate endangered species from around the world. Um, the zoo received is a white tiger in the first week of March from Nandan Kanan Zoo in Bhubaneswar. There is a single male zebra in the zoo. This provided a good sighting for birders. Birders. Patna Zoo is among one of the most distinguished zoo in the world. Breeding of program endangered species, particularly than one-horned rhinos. The success story of rhino breeding put of the Patna on global map for rhino breeding. Today Patna Zoo has the second largest rhino population, next only to the San Diego Zoo in California. The annual number of its visitors make up approximately 750,000 visitors. Zoo is venue for both fun and learning and is quite popular among the children. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyanshu.